If you keep doing what you're doing financially, will you become financially free or stuck where you're at? The truth is, retiring early has less to do with how much money you make and more to do with how you think about money. In today's video, I want to walk you through the exact mindset shift that changed my life and how I've built multiple income streams, downsized, and redefined what financial freedom really means to me. If you're ready to retire early or just want to feel more in control of your money, this is for you. One of the biggest myths we're sold is this: if you just earn more, you'll be free. But if you earn more and spend more, you're not any closer to freedom. You're just running faster on the same hamster wheel. I used to think the goal was to work for money. But after burning out in my old business, I realized I needed to make my money work for me. That meant changing how I saw money, not as something to spend, but as a tool to build the life I actually wanted. I stopped focusing on impressing others and started focusing on what I could keep and how I could grow it and how I could use it intentionally. The shift didn't happen overnight. Society teaches us to consume, to upgrade, to keep up, to spend, to fuel success. But true wealth isn't about having more, it's about needing less. When I talk about retiring early or building financial freedom, people often jump straight to the numbers. How much do I need? How fast can I get there? But I'll be honest with you. The numbers didn't matter until I changed what was happening in my mind. I had to unlearn much of what I had been taught. That money is something you earn and spend. That savings is about deprivation, and that talking about money was impolite. But the real breakthrough happened when I realized that I was stuck in a scarcity mindset. I was always asking, what if there's not enough? What if I lose everything? What if I can't catch up? That mindset kept me playing small, afraid to take risks, and constantly chasing more just to feel safe. But safety doesn't come from more money, it comes from more confidence in your ability to manage it wisely. That's when I started shifting towards an abundance mindset. Scarcity says there's not enough, but abundance says there's more than enough. I just have to be resourceful. Scarcity says I'm too late, but abundance says I've never been more ready. So instead of thinking, how little can I spend to get by, start asking, how can I use what I have to create the life that I want? That shift changes everything. I began to see money not as a source of stress, but as a tool or a partner in designing a life that reflected my values, not someone else's version of success. I stopped focusing on what I lacked and started paying attention to what I could leverage: my skills, my creativity, my time, and my life experience. This mindset helped me escape the trap of comparison because that's another mindset killer. When you're always looking at what others have, you start making decisions based on appearance and not alignment. The moment I turned inward and focused on my goals and my values and my vision, the pressure melted away. A mindset of abundance doesn't just help you with money, it changes how you approach everything. You become more open to opportunities. You stop seeing mistakes as failures and start seeing them as feedback. You begin to trust yourself, and that confidence is what really creates momentum. If you want to retire early or build financial freedom in your 50s and beyond, this is where you start. Not with spreadsheets, but with beliefs. Because if you don't change your mindset, no amount of money will make you feel free. One of the biggest mindset shifts I made was understanding that relying on just one source of income is risky. For most of my life, I was taught that the only way to make money was through working. You work, you get paid. That was the model we were all taught. Work hard, collect a paycheck, and one day, maybe you'll retire. But I realized something crucial. A job can disappear, and if all of your income is tied to that one stream, Your financial future is fragile. So I started looking at income like legs of a stool. The more legs you have, the more stable the stool becomes. And that's when I got serious about building multiple streams of income. When I started, I didn't have a blueprint. I just followed what I knew and what I loved. So I wrote and illustrated children's books, 8 so far. That became my first real income stream outside of traditional work. It wasn't passive at first. I had to put in the time and effort. But once published, these books continue to sell over and over, even while I sleep. Then I started this YouTube channel because I wanted to help other women over 50 reinvent themselves like I was doing. And from there, I branched into digital products, things like workbooks, guides, and online courses. I packaged my knowledge and life experience into resources that could help others and earn income at the same time. Was I an expert at all of this when I began? Absolutely not. Did I make mistakes? Of course. But here's what I learned. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. I treated every mistake as a lesson and every small win as momentum. Each stream of income, no matter how small at first, gave me more financial breathing room, more confidence, more freedom to design a life on my terms. And you don't have to write books or start a YouTube channel to do this. Maybe you love dogs. Offer training in person or online classes, or pet sit, or start a dog walking business. Do you have a knack for fashion? Help other women refresh their wardrobes in person, online, or with digital guides. Did you used to teach? You could offer coaching, tutoring, or create educational resources. The opportunities are endless. What matters is that you start where you are with what you have and grow from there. And remember, your experience is an asset. Everything you've learned through life, parenting, through your career, can be turned into income when you package it right. Don't underestimate the value of what you know. Someone else is out there looking for guidance in the exact thing you've already mastered. Another secret to early retirement is spending less but enjoying more. I downsized to a one-bedroom apartment and chose to rent instead of buy. It's less to maintain and it gives me freedom. I track every dollar. Yes, it sounds tedious, but it gave me clarity and control. I canceled subscriptions I wasn't using. I cooked more meals at home, and I also implemented the 30-day rule. Before I buy something big, I wait 30 days. Most of the time, I realize I don't need it. These habits don't feel like sacrifice. They feel like self-respect. I don't cut out everything. I just spend where it matters. That's called value-based spending. For me, it means experiences over stuff, health, well-being, education, and personal growth. By aligning my spending with what I truly value, I discovered contentment and financial momentum. And when you're deeply connected to your why, the sacrifices don't feel like losses. They become stepping stones. Savings is only part of the equation. You've got to make your money grow. I started with simple investing. I educated myself through books and podcasts, and the more I learned, the more confident I became. Start where you are, learn as you go, and if you need to, get the advice from a financial advisor. Here's what most people don't talk about. Retiring early isn't just about the numbers. It's about designing a life you actually want to live. I stopped caring about what other people thought and started asking what lights me up. What kind of day do I want to wake up to? How do I want to spend my time now that I am no longer living for anyone else? Early retirement doesn't mean doing nothing. It means doing what matters most. For me, that's creative work, travel, time with loved ones, and helping other women like you believe that it's not too late to change your future. So here's your roadmap. First, change your mindset from scarcity to abundance. 2, build multiple streams of income. 3, spend intentionally aligned with your values. 4, educate yourself and invest wisely. And 5, design a life that brings you joy, not just in retirement, but starting now. And most of all, believe that it is possible because it is. You've gained wisdom, resilience, experience. Now is the time to use it. If you found this helpful, please give it a like and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching.